Day 2 of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs was explosive, dominated by Cassie Ventura's powerful testimony. In graphic and emotional detail, Cassie, 8.5 months pregnant, testified for over 4 hours about years of alleged abuse, including...
She is on the stand, called by the prosecution as a witness. We understand that as she is talking, Combs is leaning back and watching her intently. She described that now she is 38 years old, that she became involved with Sean Diddy when she was 19. She said that they were in a relationship for 10 years. They were consistently on and off relationship, and she described it as they would have lots of arguments, violent arguments, she said, usually resulted in physical abuse, dragging, different things. He would mash my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me. She's asked by the prosecution, how frequently? Her answer, frequently. Were you ever injured? Her answer, yes. Usually I would get knocks on my forehead, black eyes, red eyes, bruises all over my body. It just depended. And then she's shown a still image of that infamous video from the Los Angeles hotel where he is assaulting her. And she says in response to that, that's me, Intercontinental Hotel, having an encounter. We call it a freak-off. Now, how would you describe what a freak-off is? And she explains that of having sexual encounters, called voyeurism, a sexual encounter with a third party. And she pointed out that this was something that Sean Combs introduced to her. And she said that she at some times would be in charge of hiring the person. And she would do it because she wanted to make him happy. She was in love with him. But she was also asked, what were you afraid of? She says, it was always in the back of my mind that I would somehow be hurt by him. Sean is a really polarizing person. He was very charming. It was hard to decide in that moment when he was telling you what he wanted. I just didn't know what would happen. And then the testimony goes on to talk about, and she is taking a deep sigh at this moment. We should point out that she is in her 8th month of pregnancy with her 3rd baby. And she's asked by the prosecution, you talk about blackmail materials. She says actual videos and photos of sexual encounters. And she was concerned that if ever she did not do what Combs wanted her to do, that those videos would be released and it would be damaging to her career. Anna?
A particularly damning moment was when a note Cassie had written to herself was read aloud. He owns me. Even when I sleep, I'm not free. The defense argued that Cassie participated consensually, had motives like a book deal and financial settlement, and claimed drug use clouded her memory. But jurors remained emotionally engaged with Cassie. She also alleged that Diddy used hidden cameras to film assaults and once held her at gunpoint to force a video apology. The courtroom was left visibly shaken. Press described it as the darkest day in hip-hop history.
And ain't no way they ain't letting cameras in this trial, because somebody would have paid to see Diddy face when Cassie walked in there pregnant, ready to take the stand. But let's get into a little bit of her testimony so far. For those of y'all who don't know, this is part, I don't know what, of me recapping the Diddy trial for y'all, since there is no cameras allowed in the courtroom, so you can't watch it, but I will read it. And I know you don't read, so follow me. And Cassidy came in hot, giving the details to every single thing. She answering every question. She ain't saying no comment. I don't recall. And right now, everything is like clear to what it is that everybody already speculated. She's talking about how she first encountered Diddy. He kissed her in the bathroom at a party. And she keeps mentioning Carrie Morgan being around and being the person that she told about the things that was going on between her and Diddy. She said that he introduced her to giving, because she didn't know nothing about that or that concept before she met him. They have a 17-year age difference, which everybody already knows. And she's talking about how throughout their relationship, he was extremely violent, because although he was able to talk to other people, he didn't want her to be able to talk to nobody else. But he said the reason he could do it is because he Puff Daddy. And she talks about how the first time that they did anything with each other, like intercourse-wise, he gave her drugs, and she had already had it before then on accident from drinking out of a Gatorade bottle. which the prosecution made no mistake in letting it be known that it was unintentional. But she said that although she agreed to the freak-offs, she thought that it would be like a one-time thing or something that wasn't really frequent because she wasn't against it. But she also didn't know that it would have to happen that often. But she said she felt like she couldn't tell him no because he would get extremely upset. And she also talks about the fact that how he hid their relationship because he was publicly with Kim Porter, which everybody already known this. But in so many words, she the go-to-global snitching right now. But still waiting on the part of the testimony where the prosecution is going to be able to prove the crimes that they're saying that Diddy did, because even though her testimony is what people would consider tea or juicy, it ain't grounds for a RICO. They had a toxic relationship. But nevertheless, things should be heating up real soon.